Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley and this is video log number 115. It's always been my belief that the heliocentric system is based on psychopathic lies, and any psychopathic system is set for self-destruction. So I'm going to go through a few things that highlight self-destructive behaviours. The go-to tool in the psychopathic tool bag will always be lies. A study was published in the Journal of Basic and Applied Psychology about the act of lying. The experiment involved two strangers conversing with each other for 10 minutes while their conversations were recorded. Although each subject believed they had been telling the truth, after reviewing the footage, the scientists found that 60% of all subjects lied within 10 minutes, and the average amount of lies during this time span was 2.92 per subject. So why would this be a go-to behaviour for anyone? Well, one simple reason is to gain social acceptance. Another is definitely squarely aimed at low self-esteem. This is an article from goodtherapy.org. Low self-esteem shows itself in many ways. Thinking others' poor behaviour is a reflection on us instead of them, disliking the human race, perfectionism, over and underachievement, and feeling different from others are all possible correlates of low self-esteem. There is no automatic connection between self-esteem and any one behaviour. It's important to look at the big picture before assuming someone has low self-esteem based on a given trait. What a person's general pattern is. Having that said, discussed below are two more potential symptoms of low self-esteem. This is not an exhaustive list, but rather part of a continuing discussion. Number 1, dishonesty. High self-esteem doesn't get along with dishonesty, and so the latter can only thrive where self-esteem is low. High self-esteem always embraces a basic policy of honesty, in the interest of maintaining open and truthful communication with others and ourselves. On the other hand, low self-esteem invites and promotes dishonesty. When self-esteem is low, it feels necessary to lie, at times to ourselves, others, or both, in order to avoid painful consequences. For example, if my self-esteem is low, I would rather lie about my feelings than tell you where I really stand and risk an uncomfortable confrontation. Or, I would rather lie to myself about my disappointment than experience it directly and suffer all the more. Not being able to see ourselves as truthful and trustworthy poisons our opinion of ourselves, making it hard to feel pleased with who we are. Hence, like all other factors that interact with self-esteem, dishonesty is both the result and cause of low self-esteem. For a lie to permeate, you need word of mouth. And word of mouth, if you see my previous video on hearsay, needs tittle-tattle, gossip, idle chatter in order to be put out amongst the masses. And contrary to what most people think about gossip, the purpose of gossip is not actually to hurt the person that's being gossiped about, but more to form a tight social bond with the person that is actually the participant in the gossip. I'm going to read a small excerpt from Elements of Self-Destruction by Brent Potter. The reprehension towards the abandoning object unconsciously and insidiously turns inward, attacking the ego, while another part of the mind identifies with the lost love. Freud astutely notes that this system, through the addictive and self-destructive, allows the melancholic to protect the love object from hatred. The self-torments of melancholics, which are without doubt pleasurable, signify, just like the corresponding phenomenon in the obsessional neurosis, a gratification of sadistic tendencies and of hate, both of which relate to an object and in this way have both been turned round upon the self. In both disorders, the sufferers usually succeed in the end in taking revenge, by the circuitous path of self-punishment on the original objects and in tormenting them by means of the illness, having developed the latter so as to avoid the necessity of openly expressing their hostility against the loved ones. That's Freud, 1917. So where does this all lead? Well, in the case of the psychopathic system, it leads to the collapse through stress, and this is no different through the experiences of a person in a physiological sense. There is going to be stress and therefore illness, heart attacks, high blood pressure, and those things can lead to death. So yes, it's a unpleasant end to a psychopathic way of being. That's not to say that everybody who lies is a psychopath, or that every system that is in place that is failing is psychopathic. I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll see you all in the next video.